Hi everyone. I'm sorry if I sound kind of sick. I have some really bad allergies and yeah, I'm really backed up. But this video is going to be about how my parents found out about my self-harm and about, yeah, you'll see. Alright, so to start off, let me give you a little information. Ever since I can remember, I guess it's a form of self-harming too, but I never really acknowledge it as such. I have a thing called neurotic aspiration, which is like an OCD form of skin picking, scratching excessively. And when you're really anxious and stuff, I never really noticed it until like 2 years ago that's what it was. After going to so many doctors and my parents making me go because I have like all these circles and stuff. Some of them from when I used to used to pick at my skin, but most of them are not. But so if you need any information about that, I'll post a link below somewhere. But so yeah, so my parents knew that I had scars on my body from scratching. So every time I had self-harm, I just used that excuse like, Sophie, where did you get that scar? Oh, scratching really hard, and then we dismiss it. But the negative downside to that is they always sent me to doctors, dermatologists, let's say this word's so wrong, allergenists, like doctors who deal with allergies and stuff. They sent me to so many doctors, so many things, and then I always felt picked and probed at like an alien, always on so many different medications for my skin and lotions and stuff, and they never really worked because it's something more psychological than actually physical. But so okay, funny thing, we go on vacation, it's close to prom time, we go on vacation to Florida, and my parents are leaving to go on some like tour, and I don't want to go, and so I'm staying inside the room. My mom forgot something. She came back, and this is the time it's really hot, so I just wore short sleeves and was relaxing in the room. And I answered the door, and it's mom. And like I'm on the door, and my hand, I don't want you guys to see my scars because I'm wearing short sleeves, but my hand is like up on the door, like leaning, and the sun just hits, and she sees all these cuts, and she's like, oh my god, Sophie, your thing is getting so much worse. And I'm like, yeah, it is. Yeah. She's like, when we go back home, we're gonna have to send you to a different dermatologist because it's the stuff she's giving you isn't working. And I just roll with it. But when we get home, I started smoking again, and when I smoke, I always burn off, just like I burn it off of my skin. And yeah, so the next morning, I get blisters, and I had a Band-Aid, but that day was a clinical day. I had to go to clinical because I went to a nursing tech school, and I did nursing, and my Band-Aid fell off, so I got another one, and after clinicals, we go to school. In school, my Band-Aid fell off again, but I didn't have access to another Band-Aid, so where do I go? I go to the nurse, and the first nurse, there's two of them, she's like, let me see it, and I pull it just a little bit so she can see it, and she's like, all right, here's some antibiotics and a Band-Aid. It was a thick Band-Aid because there were several of them, and she just gave it to me, and that was it. And then I go back to class, which is like right next door, and then sorry, during class I'm writing, and it folds within itself, and I'm so like OCD annoyed that I'm like, I need another Band-Aid. I can't go on with life with my Band-Aid like this. And plus I was gonna stay after school. So I go back. The nurse who originally gave me a Band-Aid's on the phone. The other nurse is like, let me see. So I do the same thing. She's like, no, let me see your whole arm. And I'm like, no. I was just here literally 3 minutes ago. Can I just have another Band-Aid to go to class? It's finals and I want to get all the information from my math class. So can I just have my Band-Aid? And she just kept on insisting, let me see your arm, let me see your arm. So I just left. I was like, you know what, fuck it. I don't care about a Band-Aid that bad. I go back to my class and there's a call and I have to go to the guidance counselor. And the guidance counselor, I was so pissed. Everyone knew I was pissed the way I walked off class. I was like, damn, what happened to her? The guidance counselor, which is my nursing guidance counselor too, so she knows me on a personal level. She was like, well, we just want to see what's going on, if anyone's hurting you, blah, blah, blah. And she's so ditzy and it's annoying. And I said, call my mom, she will confirm that I have this neurotic excoriation thing. And my mom confirmed, but at that time my mom wasn't working because she had cancer, so she had leaves of absence and she was bored. So she's like, let me just come to school and see what they're talking about. They told her she didn't need to since she confirmed, but that's the kind of mother she is. At times, concerned for her daughter at times. But I go to the nurse's office and she gives me a Band-Aid, but I have to wait till my mom comes. My mom's calling me right now. I have to wait till my mom comes. And the nurse and my mom finally meet and they tell me to strip. They tell me to strip to my bra and panties. I don't know if anyone has ever been through this experience, but one is not right. You have a right to refuse. You don't have to strip for anyone, especially a nurse or even your doctors. No one can make you strip, so know your rights, okay? But I was afraid of my mom, and she was giving me that look like, if you don't fucking strip, I swear to God, when you get home, you're gonna strip, and it's gonna be way worse. So I stripped, and they saw my whole body, they saw all the scars and stuff. And the nurse said I can't come back to school unless I get a psych evaluation and a physical from my doctor and stuff like that, which I don't even know if that's even required or not. But I was very upset because, you know, I was nude, and like all the times I've been like naked and doctors probing me, it was the same feeling. And I don't know if anyone's feel that way. Just, it feels horrible, especially with someone who's already been abused. It just feels like repeated abuse again, and it's just delayed, and time just slows down, and it just feels like you just have to think of being in a different place. But so I go to the psychologist the same day and my doctor the same day. My doctor, which I'm really cool with her, she's like, you know, tons of kids do it, it's for anxiety, I know you want to be a doctor, blah, blah, blah. And I told her I have the scratching problems, and she was like, oh, let me recommend you to the dermatologist, and I got away with that. The psychologist, on the other hand, was very rude and was telling me, because I was very anxious in his room because it's really boxed in, and like there's so many papers overflowing in the bookcases, and it was so small. And I have like a tiny, like agoraphobia of like not being able to escape a place, especially in public. And he was like literally so close to me, and I was just like really nervous, and my leg was shaking. And he's like, you shouldn't be nervous, blah, blah, blah. And we were just talking. I was an asshole to him, and I was like, everything he said, I just retorted to him, and I was assessing him too. But at the end of that 45 minutes, he brought my mom in, was like, Sophie has tons of anxiety, and was like trying to diagnose me with all these things that I knew I didn't have because they never really fit me. I mean, I am an anxious person. I do have anxiety. I'm not going to deny that. But he was talking about BPD, which I don't believe I have. I took a assessment for that, and I didn't pass. But then he tried to say that I possibly could be bipolar too, which I don't really think I have either, because my moods, I don't really have extreme mood swings and stuff like that. But he just made me angry, and he also made me angry because he asked me how I felt about my mom having cancer, and I thought, you know, my mom's gonna outlive us all, because I feel like when people are like really horrible, like bad people, like they're gonna last forever just so they can torture you to the day you die, and then they'll die. But I didn't tell him that's my reasoning. I just said she's gonna live for a very long time. And he thought that was really naive of me to think that because she was so sick. And I was like, you can't tell me how I feel about my mother. I think I know her a little bit more than you. And trust me, she's not going anywhere. And she didn't. The doctor told her she had a year to live. That was like 4 years ago. Or not 4 years ago, but like 3 or so years ago. So, exactly. She keeps calling me. But that's kind of how my parents found out. Ever since then, they've been questioning me about them and trying to talk to me about it. And my dad, which pisses me off, always says like, oh, jokingly, like, oh, when did you go to war? And stuff like that, because my scars. And I'm like, you're not funny. But that's kind of it. I didn't think it was going to take this long to make this video, but obviously it did. But thanks for watching. Bye. Sorry for talking so fast too.